tuned in to WKKW. Coming up next, Love Pandemic.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to Love Pandemic. That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Liam Von Friedman.
It's a viral outbreak. It's a love pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the show. We're really excited tonight, and we'll be taking your calls because we are live very soon. I am your host, Liam Von Friedman. With me, as always, is the great Carl Voss.
Oh, Liam. Oh, thank you so much. It's a beautiful day, and you're a beautiful man to share it with.
Well, I'm a mirror. I'm only a mirror reflecting back at you. Oh, I'm just rubber in your glue. We are also very, very happy to have in studio one of the foremost experts in sex, actually, and dating. We have Dr. Mary Fenwick Parrish. She is the author of such books as Coming Together. Slow your roll, fellas. At the end of that book, funny enough, there is 30 pages of self-rising bread recipes. It's absolutely brilliantly written. Also, she's written, Get Your Finger Out of There, my colon. I like a little bit of a Captain, my captain sort of montage there. Mm-hmm. And a Girl's Gotta Eat Not Choke, a hands-off approach to fellatio, as well as the blockbuster hit Greetings from Down Under, Global Perspectives on Cunnilingus. Welcome to the show, Dr. Mary Fenwick Parrish.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here.
Well, we are just so happy to have you. Oh my gosh. A lot to cover. We want to talk about your most recent book as well.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you brought it up, and I'm hopeful that all of your listeners can get some perspective from this book. It has been, I'm going to call it a labor of love, and the title of my book is called, my newest book, What to Do When the Shit Hits the Fan, a step-by-step guide to eating assholes. Now, it's very important to remember that for all of these books, I'm a self-taught illustrator and did all the illustrations myself. So please feel free to use those in any domain that you are interested in.
They're incredibly graphic. Do not post those on social media, folks. To Twitter, we'll even kick you off. Even Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah.
To be fair, I do have a line of greeting cards as well that are based on the illustrations from the book. So I highly recommend checking those out.
Yes, more than greeting cards.
I'll have to get one for my mother.
Yes.
Yeah, she'd love it. She'd love it, Carl.
I forgot an Easter card, so I hope it's not.
He is
Do you have
risen.
anything?
He is risen.
Oh, gosh.
How is Mima?
Oh, she's good. She's bedridden, but
I bet she is.
it's a nice bed. And,
Well,
you know, we're just thankful that the home is holding on to her for this long. You know, honestly, it was just an Airbnb, and she's kind of been staying there for a number of weeks now.
wow.
And,
Yeah, I've heard about that new Airbnb experience, the isolation experience. You know, you've got really clean sheets and you know, the bed sheets and the dividers. You know, down at the local gym. I don't know. Maybe that's just on my Nextdoor app. I don't know.
yeah, well, it certainly is a social isolation experience now for Mima. And, yeah, I send her, I make her peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I pack them really tight, really kind of squish them down, and I slide them underneath the door for her, and she really likes that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, as long as you cut the crust off, they slide right under there, nice and smoothly.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about your work, Doctor.
Certainly.
You have written, at least 5 books on, different varied topics about love. What is your personal experience? What qualifies you to tell people how to be romantic? What experiences have you had?
Well, I would say, first of all, that we've all had experiences. I don't think it's necessarily fair to call someone an expert or a sexologist or, a whore, depending on what direction or what impetus somebody might have against, free love and all of that. I definitely recommend that people get rid of labels, because labels are just a waste of time and a construct to really keep people down. If you want to do whatever you want to do and you're consensual and happy, go to town. So that's why I don't like being called necessarily, an expert in any particular field.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have to say, though, I'm very proud of my credentials. I have been at this for a very long time now. And, it really wasn't until I got my PhD at the Botetourt County Community College online that all of this kind of pulled together, and that I'm just really excited about teaching people about free love and no labels.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a lot of work getting a PhD.
It was a lot of time horizontally.
Kudos, Mary.
Thank you. Excuse me, doctor.
So did you do some a lot of field work, so to speak?
Yes, there was some time in a field for sure.
Wow. Yeah, and your advisor, I'm sure, was probably very very renowned in this community college, I imagine.
Well, to be fair, he certainly was round.
Oh, wow, very round.
Yeah.
Wow, that's did you have a good relationship with him?
It's like anything. It's all give and take. I remember one time we fought over a T-bone steak in a parking lot, but all that is experience. It just teaches you what is important in a relationship, and it might just come down to meat.
Yeah, that sounds like grad school.
Full spectrum dominance.
That's right.
Well, we had some folks call in over the week and leave some questions on Carl's very sultry voicemail. It's a lot of fun. Give it a call, 575-322-8733. We're going to take calls here just in a moment, and that is the number. Hold your calls for now. We have a couple that people have wrote in or left on the voicemail of Carl's voicemail. It's so fun.
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to cue up this first message here. Let's see. This one was regarding Dr. Sugarbaker, who we had on a couple weeks ago.
Let's see if we can help this
But
caller.
I thought maybe Dr. Parrish could maybe help out here.
Hey, it's Shannon. I called last week. You had Dr. Sugarbaker on as your guest. I had asked about a potential, or what app she was using to best do an orgy through, and she said that she was launching something new. I had some pros and cons and a review. Just wanted to follow up with you guys. Anyway, love your show. Bye.
Yeah, so Dr. Sugarbaker had talked about these apps. In fact, she was developing a sex app in particular to have online socially distanced orgies. Do you know anything about the kind of the media sphere of sex apps, or do you even prescribe to sex apps in this day and age?
I would say absolutely holy. And whatever iteration of holy you want to interpret that. The thing with the pandemic and social distancing is it's, dating before January was already difficult. But what's so great about the time that we're in now, in terms of how short time is and being able to appreciate people for who they are, and that kind of knee-jerk reaction. What comes to mind is the 1990s hit TV show on MTV, Singled Out. That, I think, really is the best way to go through a dating app and find a mate, especially someone that you're looking for long term.
And
now,
could you refresh my memory on what that show entailed?
Oh,
Singled
certainly.
Out.
It was starring Chris Hardwick of Nerdist, and also Jenny McCarthy of Anti-Vaxxing. And on that show, people, I think it was teenagers on spring break, who they would sit down one man and have 100 women line up, and they would go through a list of categories about what he was interested in a mate. So if it was small boobs versus big boobs, and excuse me, I'm using the, nomenclature here since, we're not in a medical setting right now.
Street lingo.
I
Street
prefer
lingo.
boobs.
Yeah. Yeah. Who doesn't? They would start singling people out. And then when, it's like, do you like someone who's smart or someone who says, things like that. And it would finally weed out the, 99 women who were not this man's soulmate. And then they would go on a date in Panama City.
Wow, that sounds lovely.
Which is really the best way, I think, to date today. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all want to go to Panama City. I heard they opened the beaches.
Yeah.
It seems to be the only place you can find a woman or a man.
That's fair.
You
Listen,
driving up and down the strip, smelling red tide. Yeah. Sign me up. That is sultry. That is wild.
one thing I've discovered in all of my research is that the common turn on across gender, race, socioeconomic class, age is a spray t-shirt from Panama City Beach.
Oh, wow.
It is the ultimate turn on for all people.
Airbrush.
Right? Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we are live. We are live here in the studio. We've got my good friend Carl. He's always here.
Oh, Liam.
Oh,
Oh, Liam.
just looking over there and seeing you. It just makes sense, buddy.
We do have one more message that was left on our voicemail. Should we share that one? Maybe Dr. Parrish can maybe help us answer this. It's about kind of like a working romance, so to speak.
Okay. Sounds intriguing.
Hi, this is Marissa, and I called because of the commercial you had on TV. I got hired at Walgreens probably at the beginning of the pandemic. And, my GM's boss's name is George, and fuck, he's so hot. And he makes money, and he has kids, and that's all I want. I want a man who makes money and has kids, and I don't want them to be mine. And he already has all of that. And he's fine. He's not sick, and he still comes to work 5/7 of the time. He also has a huge, the bulge that he has, where I bet his penis is fucking huge. It's probably bigger than my shin bone. I'm not kidding. Okay? And, guess what? This motherfucker, he drives, I didn't even know they made Miatas anymore, but it's a 2017 Mazda Miata. And guess what? It's not small. Just like his cock isn't. And I'll lose my ass virginity to him. I already said that in stone. I wrote it down not in regular ink, in red ink, so it looks like my blood.
We should really screen these,
My
Uncle.
blood.
Oh, I screened it.
Get the jambalaya on the
You
floor.
naughty devil. You're so bad.
I
Alright,
just
well, give me a ring
spoke
back.
to me somehow, you know.
I'll be thinking about the conversation that we'll have.
Was it Marissa?
Is that your cousin?
That was murder.
I
Well,
love
it sure
George.
sounds like my cousin, now doesn't it? The thing is, I don't know. But probably. She does work at the Walgreens. And the manager there, I don't know if you've seen him, but wow. Yeah, like a shin bone in his pants.
He's packing a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Wow. That seems like overkill.
So if I may, one, again, I can't recommend enough my book about the self-rising roles. Nevertheless, yes,
yeah.
shameless plug.
No.
I think
Do
that
what you gotta do. Do. Oh, doctor.
if we could really break down the concerns and questions that Marissa had, I think the first thing that we need to address is the fact that, she's interested and concerned about being around these children and trying to get them to like her. And the first thing I have to say is you work at Walgreens and there's candy there. So you're all right, sister. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. In terms of the Mazda Miata, that is actually the third most attractive thing of all human beings on the planet, right? Again, we have the spray t-shirt. What did you call it?
Airbrush.
The airbrush t-shirt. The second is access to cannellini beans and toilet paper right now. It's very timely, very timely. And then the third being the Mazda Miata, which is classic. I mean, move over, Corvette. It's the Mazda Miata. And so my recommendation for Ms. Marissa, who didn't leave a last name for us, would be to ask, her manager to a feat of strength. And I've seen a number of people pick up a Mazda Miata over their head with their arms. So maybe she could get creative and ask him to try to pick up something else. Her, to take her on a date.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I like what you did there.
Thank you.
Wow.
Either you pick up this car or you pick me up, maybe.
Ooh. Yeah, throw that ultimatum out there. That's always healthy. Now, folks, we are opening up the lines here in the studio on Love Pandemic. It's a viral outbreak, and we need you to call in and give us your questions. We're here to help you out. 575-322-8733 with Dr. Mary Fenwick, Parrish, acclaimed author, and of course, as always, Carl Voss in the house on the ones and twos.
Yeah.
Folks, you call in whenever you like. That is our number, 575-322-8733. We are live. Now, Doctor, I had a couple of folks write in some questions as well, and I thought, while we're here, we could just rap about these.
Sure.
And these are just some very, very pretty straightforward questions, but I think that most people are looking for a lot of the same answers, really, when it comes down to it. We might ask a very specific question, but really, we want a lot of the same things. So, the first question that comes in is from Chautauqua, New York, and it is by Mr. Dale Deuteronomy, and it says, can you learn to be passionate about someone if there's no chemistry at first?
Well, without doing gross generalizations around people, can you learn to be passionate if there is no spark?
I really hope that it's a yes.
Well, a simple answer would be get a set of matches and set someone on fire. Because it's easy to love someone who has third-degree burns over 90% of their body and you have to take care of them. Very much a Florence Nightingale kind of approach.
Yeah. Burning down the house.
Conversely to that, I would say certainly that if there's no spark at first and there's no chemistry, maybe you learn some stoichiometry and get in there, girl.
Tell us a little bit about that. What is stoichiometry, Jeremy?
Stoichiometry, that is figuring out salts in chemistry.
Yeah, I studied that out on the West Coast when...
Is that when you had that big meth problem, Carl?
Well, yeah,
That's why they call it salt life.
It was a problem for the authorities. It wasn't a problem for me or Bobo. We were making our dime, and we were just living life on the edge, literally on the beach. We were like when I woke up, the water was at my neck, and then I had to move up a little bit. We were just living on the edge, carefree, making a little bit of meth, making a little bit of LSD. Nothing terribly illegal, other than those two activities, but it was very enjoyable.
But an intimate moment.
It was intimate. It was an intimate 13 years of my life, And do you ever find that you, the funny thing is, it was through one of these psychedelic experiences, these acid tests that we were conducting on the beach, that I met my wife, Sheila. And we made love for like 3 hours on the beach. And it was kind of awkward because everyone else was still there. But regardless, do you ever find that certain substances kind of improve your performance, Dr. Parrish?
Well, I think that you absolutely hit it out of the ballpark with the meth and the LSD.
Oh, yeah.
And given what, again, we're dealing with in these very trying times, I would wholly recommend, if you're trying to hold on to someone or meet someone, take whatever substance you can get your hands on and just keep smiling and making sandwiches. That's all anyone wants.
Sandwiches and smiles. Wow.
Take those sandwiches to Gam Gam and shove them right under the door, Carl.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm going to flatten them and slide them.
Cut those crusts off.
But be sure when you give Gam Gam her sandwich, you slip her a little bit of meth too.
Well, that might kill her, but when the time comes.
How else is she going to knit all those blankets?
Well, it's true. I mean, I don't want another sort of smallpox epidemic, but with the. I mean, she is COVID positive. I don't know if I made that clear earlier, but that's why she's kind of holed up in this Airbnb, and I can't go in there. She hasn't been able to shit in a toilet for about 3 weeks now, but she just throws it out the window, and so far the owners of the Airbnb have been more than hospitable. And
how are the passerbys taking that?
Well, it's totally fine. The neighborhood dogs have taken a liking to it, but mostly they don't roll around in it. It's not a pretty sight, but neither is life. You know.
Yeah, it's fair.
And if I may say, what a time to be positive. When so many people are negative, it is really great to be COVID positive.
Yeah. She is so positive when she wakes up from her naps. She naps about 20 hours a day. She's like a cat.
Such a minx. She's still coy in her old age.
She is.
She's always had a little spark, you know. So, Doctor, another question that we've had that's come in. This is from Bound Barbie from Santa Barbara.
Certainly.
What's the latest on sex toys? Bound Barbara asks. Bound Barbie from Santa Barbara.
What? Oh, Barbie from Barbara. Santa Barbara. Yes. What is the latest on sex toys? Well, I think something that perhaps Barbie can relate to is that they're still made out of plastics. And highly recommend, again, given how trying this time is, in perspective, buy early, buy often, especially since we already know that delivery services are taking their time to get to us. And in my field, we call them marital aids. But really, it's just to aid your marriage through whatever hump you're dealing with right now. Because it turns out humps really aren't happening until marital aids show up. So I would say that $1,200 check you got in the mail or, via electronic deposit, invest wisely in plastic vibrating toys.
Okay.
Yeah, seems like a pretty solid investment, if you ask me.
Now, what about like silicone? Or is silicone a type of plastic? I'm not very privy to materials, but what do you? Is silicone safe? Is plastic safe? Is aluminum, stainless steel?
Those are great questions. It really comes down to a quality versus quantity thing, especially if you're using your stimulus package to buy these stimulating products. In terms of plastic versus silicone, you're going to look at low grade versus high grade. Can't recommend enough glass.
Oh.
I know. Put it in the freezer.
Ooh.
It's very popular in Kampala,
Ooh.
in Uganda.
Wow.
But, it's different strokes for different folks. So it all depends on how you want to spend your money and how you want to spend your next 6 weeks.
Yeah. I'm always of the belief if I'm going to buy something, I want it to outlive me. You know, like I'm going to get the diamond studded vibrator. I already ordered it. I should, like, I'm not like I want to, like I'm
it's on its way.
Yeah.
Great. So you also know the Shah of Iran.
Oh, well, we made acquaintances in that time period.
Was it on the beach?
Yeah, then I was on the beach, and he came and he saw and he partied. I'll tell you what. And he was probably my biggest customer of meth. And
well, the next time you see him, please tell him Dr. Fenwick Parrish says hello.
Okay, well, it'll probably be a minute until I see him because we kind of had a falling out.
Oh dear.
But yeah, next time I chat him up, we'll make amends, and I'll bring you up.
Yeah, you guys compare notes, please.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that sounds very interesting. Folks, we are live. 575-322-8733 is the phone number to call in. This is Love Pandemic, and it is a viral outbreak of romance here in the studio. We are joined with Dr. Dr. Mary. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were doing something else there.
No, I'm focused.
Okay, great. Well, yes, we have Dr. Mary Fenwick Parrish in the studio, and she's written several books, some amazing reads, and best-selling books. So thank you so much for being here.
Certainly.
We really appreciate you being here. My favorite of your books had to have been Get Your Finger Out of There, my colon.
Sure, yeah.
For the just absolute brilliance.
My understanding is that book made it to the New York bestsellers.
That's right. We were up there for about 68, 69 weeks.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's a
very
good number
thrilling
too.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
It's a funny story why that title came to be. You know, like I said, all of my books are researched through and through. But really, that title came from just one night behind a Piggly Wiggly. And I heard that phrase and I was like, that's it. That's the next book.
That's it. Now the theme of the book seems to be kind of personal boundaries.
Sure.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad you picked up on that.
Now, how would you navigate if your partner maybe enjoys having sex while you're cooking, and but you really enjoy cooking, and it kind of gets in the way of your passion while they're exploring their passion?
Absolutely. The easiest answer, I mean, off the bat, and absolutely knocked it out of the park with that one, is warm up a little bit of olive oil, throw it on the ground, let your partner sit on the ground, and while you're cooking dinner, just spin them around.
Wow.
Just spin them on their butts. They love it.
Oh,
It's a fun game.
Wow.
You get dizzy.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh.
And then when
And
you're
then you
done,
get up and slip and fall right back down and just have a big old laugh.
yeah. And then you're hungry. It's fantastic.
You would
They're all-
split your pants if you were wearing any.
That is correct.
and they're all greased up too.
That's right.
Wow. I never thought about that. Yeah, well, Sheila, if you're listening, I've got a surprise for you.
Oh, you're always having so much fun, you two. It's just like the day you met back in what was it, 1979?
Well, yeah,
Oh dear.
it was thereabouts. That was when we first maybe technically met, but that was just because our grandparents had introduced us to each other as babes. It's kind of a long story, but we're a little bit related, not that much. No cause for alarm here. Just
He's not running for political office.
yeah,
or
I'm
anything,
not
so
running
it's
for
fine.
political office.
It's fine.
Yeah, I just when we got the news that it was by blood, we were a little bit concerned, but that didn't stop the train because that thing was going, and we just stopped the dream of having kids. That was the responsible thing to do.
Very proud of you.
Yes, actually, I'm thinking about writing a book on interfamilial relationships, perhaps, and working title would be something like "Keep It in the Family," how to date your cousin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and get away with it.
Yeah.
You could find a lot of supporting research on Pornhub, I believe.
Oh.
If you look,
I'll check my sources.
yeah, check that out and see. There's a lot of that on there. For some reason, I'm not really sure why. I've got a couple theories regarding eugenics, but that's for another podcast.
Do you have any bookmarks I could check out?
I'll definitely send those links right
Okay,
your way,
yeah.
Doctor. We are live 575-322-8733 in the studio. with Dr. Mary Fenwick Parrish. Thank you again so much for being on the show.
Again, thrilled to be here.
Wow, so much fun just hanging out with you here in the studio. And of course, my good friend, Carl Voss. You legend, you dirty dog.
You're too much.
You-
Should we take an ad spot? Might be a good break.
Sure, we'll take a little ad spot here.
Love Pandemic is brought to you by Boner Pants. All worked up with nowhere to grow. Tired of tucking and folding, living your life in erect shame. No more. Silky, smooth, sexy, all man parts. Boner Pants. You can pre-order now from a local certified distributor. FlyingSquidComedy.com/boner. That's FlyingSquidComedy.com/boner. They've got a half chub special, and boy, is it worth it. Check them out.
Yes, our proud sponsor, Boner Pants. Those things are amazing. I switched over. I used to be a free baller. Then I wore the boxers. Then I wore the boxers. Then I would exclusively wear Speedos. Then I've definitely experimented around with some, different types of equipment, if you will. But the Boner Pants are clearly the most supportive. They really grab you in every place and support you and really make you feel like a man.
Yeah, I've never been grabbed that way.
All
Except
at
for
once.
by a woman.
Yeah.
But now I'm being grabbed that way all the time. Just in my pants.
If you're curious about what these look like, and I'm sure you are, FlyingSquidComedy.com/boner, and you can see what we're talking about here. I'm wearing mine right now.
Yeah, mine are in the wash because they got a little bit torn up. The dog actually got old.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you and Sheila.
No, the damn dog sometimes.
Sandra the dog.
Doesn't know where its boundaries are.
Yeah.
Gets in my laundry. It's just she's getting old though, so
Yeah, she's a sweetheart though. I love
I'm
Sandra.
just gonna wait it out. She's 14.
Yeah.
Can dogs get COVID?
I don't know.
I hope so. Anyway, Dr. Parrish, one of the interesting things that I found about your book that was coming together. Now, I'm all for coming together, and that the overall thrust of it was very informative. But I was very intrigued by the last 30 pages.
Certainly, yes.
And there was a sourdough recipe in there that was just astounding. Now, what sort of overlap do you find with like making sourdough and making love?
I'm so glad you asked that question because I was really hoping that the analogy of the sourdough and starting over and starting over and starting over again, but being the same entity and making so many iterations of yourself with new people would not be lost on the casual reader.
Oh, good.
So yes, just like a sourdough starter, you are an individual who is gonna try again and try again and try again and again. We all rise with the tide. We all come together, and then we break bread.
Well, yeah, I do get hungry afterwards.
Oh, I eat like a ravenous animal, like a chimpanzee who hasn't had anything in his mouth for weeks, just sweaty and hairy, and going straight for the lunch meat in the crisper drawer, and maybe an apple in one hand as well, and I just go to town. It's like I had sleepwalking disorder, but I'm just a ravenous animal. I can't stop myself.
I will say, Liam, having lunch with you, that's how you always eat. I don't know what it is, but it's a bit much at times.
Well, I wear my passion on my sleeve. It's just who I am.
Yeah, you wear your passion and your food sometimes, but I still love you. That's what I love
Well, you know, I
about
want
you.
to save the world.
Nothing standing between you and your passion.
I haven't used a napkin in over 10 years, and I'm proud of this. I'll basically wipe my face on anything I can find. I'm really excited about these new masks, actually. Nobody can even tell if your mouth is dirty.
Yeah, that's true.
It is tough shoving food through there, though. I cut a hole in mine.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to take the mask off while you eat.
Oh. Well, I've got a couple of backups. Thanks for bringing those in, Doctor.
You're quite welcome. You know, it's interesting. I've never heard of your sponsor before, but I do have a series of questions, if I may.
Of course.
Sure, yeah.
Do they make unisex or lady boner pants?
I do believe they make vagina pants. And they kind of suck right in there. And yeah, it makes you feel like you're kind of being held from the inside.
Sure.
And some women like it, some women really, really, really don't, and have filed a lawsuit against them because they did not ask for that.
Right, right.
Yeah, it might not be the most, I don't know, hygienic idea, but you know, if we're still in beta,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Is there a Kickstarter going for this? Where can people donate?
Well, you know, we'll have to reach out to our sponsors and see if we can arrange some sort of a grassroots movement like that. Currently, they're funded by Bill Gates, so
We're going to have to ask our lawyers.
You know, the Bill Gates Foundation does so many great things around the world. I'm so glad that he and his wife can get behind Lady Boner Pants.
Yeah, it's about time.
I think
It is. You're right. You're so right.
I think they're going to do Hands Across America and actually make it happen this time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Really excited.
Yeah, it's a big country.
It is.
It's a lot of hands.
We never made it yet.
You know, again, and since we're all doing social distancing, I think maybe Hands Across America is just hands in someone's back jean pocket instead of actually holding hands, because that's concerned. So, you know, you get to touch them, but it's all about intimacy during this time and connectivity without actually making skin-to-skin contact.
I wouldn't mind a handful of booty. Just saying.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing that I've noticed about interacting with people. Like, I don't know if you noticed, Dr. Parrish, but I didn't shake your hand, but I did touch your bosom when you arrived, because I figured that would be a little bit more of a sanitary location. Also, is kind of an accidental, creepy thing that I have a tendency to do. I've talked to my therapist about it a lot, and she said that, you know, there's just nothing you can do about it at this point. You're too old, and you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But my question is, have you noticed that my theory is that this is just going to create more intimacy, this pandemic, this social distancing, more intimacy among strangers than has ever happened before?
Yes, absolutely, Carl. And thank you for bringing that up. I did want to tell you that is my preferred way of greeting people, because, again, it is so intimate. And you can't really get to know someone until you can feel their chalky meth hands on your exposed bosom. And excuse me for coming in with no shirt on,
Well,
but when in Rome, when in Athens, nevertheless, when it comes to long-term intimacy and those kinds of things, I think at this point it is a free-for-all. So any way that you can make human contact, my favorite thing, especially, I've been working on these books globally, but I'll give you examples of rural Georgia. So many of us are sheltered in place at this point. Really, the only people who are on the road are people who are in necessary or essential roles, including truckers. And I can't tell you how happy truckers are if you shake their hand by grabbing their crotch instead of shaking their hand, because it's just that real intimacy and that connection that you can get with someone while they're telling you their story.
Yeah, those are the true heroes right now.
Certainly.
And we need to salute the heroes, and that is maybe just one form of salutation, right?
Absolutely.
That's what I've never understood, is why why soldiers kind of have their hand up here. If I want to give thanks to somebody, I'm gonna lower my hand considerably, right?
Absolutely. especially if you're at the public urinal or, even at a bathroom stall and someone's already using it. You want to say hello in a kind way and not
Now,
be
see,
rude.
that's somewhere I can't get into my research. Like I said, I'm all over the world, but the men's room seems to be, the men's room during the day is a place that I just can't get into. So why don't you tell me more about that, and maybe I can take some notes.
Well, we like to help each other out. Men are very hands-on,
Certainly.
and they're also very much, they like to help each other.
Sure.
So the men's bathroom is a place where we all, lend a helping hand to our fellow man, and you give, a courtesy hold,
Is this where Hands Across America starts?
Well, I mean, it could. This could dramatically influence
Certainly.
Hands Across America, as well as the COVID-19 disease. But, we like to help each other out. Sometimes we'll turn on the faucet for each other. Sometimes we'll flush and giggle, just the old flush and giggle.
The old flush and giggle.
It's classic.
Oh, man, does that take me back to childhood?
It's so much fun.
Yes.
We sometimes breathe on the mirrors and make mustaches on our faces and, and just laugh and talk about boys. I mean, talk about, just sports and
Sure.
anything else that we could think of, rocket ships and,
Dinosaurs is a big one.
and Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah. I find that the most intimate bathroom is at the baseball stadium. Right between innings, like really hot, intense innings, and really probably around like the 8th or 9th, right after the 7th inning stretch. And there's just 12 men abreast, and there's 12 more waiting, and sometimes when I'm waiting, instead of standing behind the other men, I like to stand beside them and kind of look down the aisle of the people, the men pissing, to just kind of see what my competition is like out there, because so far I haven't found anybody that quite compares, which I feel thankful for, because I suffer from crippling insecurity about me and Sheila, and am I satisfying her? Am I enough for her? But then I look at these baseball fans and I'm like, I'm doing better than these 12 guys.
While I'm here, do you have any questions for me that I might be able to help you with, specifically with Sheila?
Oh, no, it's just, is it normal to come after like 5 seconds
It depends on how good she is.
while you're cooking?
Well, yes, of course.
Okay.
Oh, that's a universal truth.
Okay, wow, yeah, because it's only when I'm cooking that,
And what is it that you're cooking? Is it breakfast, dinner? Does it matter?
well, sometimes I like to cook breakfast for dinner.
Sure.
actually. Yeah. And
Wild man.
That's her favorite. Pancakes.
Oh,
Yeah, but she, it happens so fast, and then she gets mad at me, and then I have to go and change, because that's one of my things.
sure.
That
Of course.
I need to change. I need to cook in some dry pants, and then the pancakes inevitably get scalded, because it takes doesn't take me long to come, but it takes me a while to change after I do.
Sure.
It's
part
a whole thing.
Part of that's the boner pants. They take a while to get off and on.
Yeah.
That's fair.
They're so contouring,
So, if I may ask, I am a doctor. Have you now created an affinity for scalded pancakes?
I never thought about it, but sometimes when I eat a scalded pancake, I do get a little hum, a little thrum, a little ding dong,
Hey,
ho hum.
oh my, Carl. So playful. So much fun. Such a naughty guy. He's the best. Folks, we are live. 575-322-8733. If you've got a question for the good doctor, now is the time, and we are getting close to the end of the hour. All you naughty little freaks out there, oh, you're so bad. You're so wild.
We can hear you breathing.
We can hear you breathing, moving, touching. You shouldn't be touching. It is a pandemic, a love pandemic. So anyways, if you got a question for the good doctor, 575-322-8733. Or if you just want to say hi to Carl.
Oh, don't say hi too much because, like I said, I'm a loose cannon, and especially these days, there's been not much to do, and just been holing up in the bedroom, and just practicing a lot of chess, playing a lot of chess in the bedroom.
Bedroom chess. You dirty animal.
Well, I mean, playing that kind of chess too, but
you coy minx.
also just straight up chess, and I've been learning every day, trying to avoid the pins and the skewers, trying to get more initiative, trying to get that tempo, but it's not as easy as like when I was younger. Everything came a lot easier. All right, looks like we've got a caller calling in here. Caller, you are on Love Pandemic.
Hey guys, what a great guest. Oh my gosh, I'm such a fan.
Well, that's great. Who are we speaking with?
I mean, it's do I have to give my real name?
No,
You
not
could
at
give
all.
a handle. Yeah.
Oh, I have to hold a handle? I'm sorry. So real name? So your real name is Zach. Oh, wait, don't give real name? Yes or no?
Dax. All right, Dax.
I won't do a real last name. I won't say my last name is, I just won't say it's Bernstein. I just won't say that. Zach Bernstein is not my name. How's that? It's not my name.
All right, Zach Bernstein. Do you have a question for Dr. Parrish?
I actually, yeah, I do. I do actually. So, Dr. Parrish, big fan, first time, long time caller. I've not tried to call you before, but I just started to say that. It was backwards. I'm nervous. I'm sorry. It's first time calling in.
No worries.
So I'm this whole, thing has really ruined it kind of like my idealism of like, I am married, but I have, I'm just alternate ways of getting, I guess you could say, sex. Oh,
Okay.
you know what? I'm going to break it down. Here it is. I can't cheat anymore, and it fucking sucks because I can't go out there. I can't touch anyone. I'm not wearing a mask. What is the alternate way I could, like, just kind of, subside this urge of having to want to be with someone else, not my partner? That sounds really bad, doesn't it? Yeah, I know, whatever.
There's no judgment here.
No, absolutely not.
Especially since your name is not Dax. No one will find you.
No.
You'll be fine.
It is definitely not that. And hashtag, I'm not going to tell you that. It's fine. We're good. So my thing is I'm now being, this is a hard thing for me because it actually helped my marriage by me having something on the side. You know what I mean?
Are we talking to Jay-Z? Is this Jay-Z? Jay-Z. Jay, are you playing with us? Jay, is that you?
Again?
No, we're not.
Okay. Sorry, I apologize, caller. I thought it was someone else for a second.
Well, here's the easiest solution for this that, without really understanding the back and forth between you and your spouse, if you're looking for an outside of the marriage experience, the easiest way is to fall in love with or frequently and vigorously love an inanimate object. So find your favorite sofa cushion, find your favorite oven mitt, whatever it happens to be that can get you through the need that you're feeling at this moment without, especially again, because we are in such trying times, without trying to, have that intimacy with another human being. So I wholly recommend.
Right.
Yeah. And if you can make it out to your grocery store, again, it all comes back to food. So if you can make it out to your grocery store and they have the supplies that you need, hot dog buns are a great alternative. The old adage from all of us way back when, the apple pie, that one's easy. But
I once made love to a watermelon for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
had
and you can do that with a watermelon. And I like hot dog buns, huh?
Yeah,
Like,
and
gluten free.
you know, if you have a gluten allergy, you know, look into the
I
gluten-free
do.
options. Yeah, for sure. And the best part is, you know, it's not cheating, and it's not illegal.
Wow.
So
wow, great job. There
Wow,
you go,
what great
caller.
advice.
There you have it. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
Thank
calling
you.
in
Well,
to
I
Love.
have, can I ask one more?
Oh, you have
thing?
one more question for the good doctor.
My question is this: like, I used to have a time, you know, now we're stuck at home all the time. I don't have the area where I would go and do my business by myself without having someone home. Now the person's here, I can't find that kind of place to go to. Do you have a suggestion of how to rebuild that, or even like suggest it to the partner? Say, hey, I need this for a minute. Can I go here?
sure.
That makes sense. I can't jerk off at the same place, same time. I got to go somewhere new.
Yeah, for
I need
sure.
help to find a place.
One thing to consider during all of this is that time and space are now just a construct. So if you can build a place in your brain, so you might be in the same place, I would say probably the produce aisle at your Publix, where you like to normally go. Now is the time to build that within your own brain. So you can create any fantasy that you want, even though we are stuck inside. So again, I recommend, you know, when you go out in public, make sure you wear your mask before you get to the bakery aisle, because they will kick you out without a mask before you, again, vigorously and intimately love on yourself.
Get on that hot dog bun.
That's right. I hope that I answered your question.
You Doc, thank you so much. You know, I appreciate that. I
You're quite
appreciate
welcome.
you, and thank you for being so candid with this whole conversation. And so, I actually am going to go to a hoagie because I think, oh, you know what? I'm gluten free. I can't do that. I'm going to have to look this out.
Okay.
You're the best.
Well, good luck. Good luck.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you, caller.
Wow, what a caller. Yeah, that was amazing. The way that you handled that. The oven mitt spurned me. There's a spatula that I've had my eye on for actually quite a few days.
And here's the thing. You don't know if that spatula's had its eye on you too.
Wow, that's so true.
Now's the time to explore.
Well, yeah. Everything is one, right? I
It's
mean,
all interconnected.
it is. It's all part of
We're just about. It's waiting to be.
It's very close, yes. Yeah, it sure is. Oh, Carl. Always one step ahead of me.
Always one step.
You know, I was thinking if I were trying to have an affair with somebody, which I'm not, I'm happily married.
Certainly.
But if I were, I would maybe search for somebody in the parking lot of the grocery store, maybe a truck stop or gas station attendant who was about to get off their shift, or maybe a police officer with no partner for the day, or maybe somebody working in a pharmacy who had a good hookup, or maybe maybe somebody working in a kitchen that was doing just pickup service only, and their manager wasn't around. You know, I mean, that's just the places that I would maybe look, but that's just me. Silly old. Not that I've looked in any of those places. I'm happily married.
Certainly.
Happily married.
Of course, to your twin flame, I might add.
Yeah, she does look a lot like me.
Yeah, you guys do look very similar. It's almost striking. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. We did talk about this a little bit earlier with the blood tests, but well, what?
Adoption is a wild thing. I'll
It's
tell
true.
you what.
You never know.
You
I mean,
never
it's
know.
like it's like
never can
playing
tell.
roulette.
Yeah.
You never know who you're going to meet out there in the city. But we have someone in the chat who's asking a couple of questions and saying, "Hey, what do you do when your twin flame blocks you on Instagram?" Now, for those of you, we all know what a twin flame is, right? So a twin flame is kind of like a soulmate, except it's way more romantic than that. And basically what it is your twin flame was etched out of the same piece of existence as you, and they are your other half. You may have many soulmates, but you only have one twin flame. Now, can you imagine that kind of pressure on a romantic relationship in life, and then being blocked on Instagram afterward? Do you chase? What do you do, doctor?
Would you repeat the question one more time?
Do you chase at that point after you've been blocked? Do you say, hey? Do you cry in the streets? Do you make an obscene gesture? Do you run after that person? Or do you play coy? Do you let it dwindle down and wait it out?
Well, the first step clearly is if you're blocked on one social media platform, find the person on a different social media platform and aggressively question their motives, his or her motives. What I would recommend following that is sending a series of, skin cells, toenail clippings, all of it to really let that other person know how intimately they've affected you, that you are part of them. They've become part of your cellular structure, and you're merely giving back to them what they gave to you.
Sure. Yeah, you could curl up some hair dolls.
Yeah, absolutely. And with
just get creative.
With $4.99, you can get anyone's background reports. So go to town.
Yeah. Oh, that's great advice, doctor.
Yes, thank you.
Well, there you go, and that's how to navigate the twin flame thing. I think it's just better to just kind of play it safe, just hang out with a soulmate.
Yeah. But here's the thing, don't discount the twin flame intensity. They already know. You just have to let them know that they know.
Well, at that point, things could get very, very hot and heavy.
Yeah.
And you are playing with fire with that twin flame.
That's right.
Things could spontaneously combust if you're not careful. It's a very dangerous thing. It's like seeing yourself in a dream,
But if you are careful, it could combust,
and
which is also good.
Well, I mean, everybody needs a little combustion.
And we're back to boner pants.
Oh, I don't think we have another ad break, but I will show you mine after the show.
I know. I'm looking for a new stitching pattern.
We've only got a few minutes left, folks. So if you want to call in, 575-322-8733 is the number to call the doctor. Don't miss this great opportunity to chat in with one of the foremost authors in dating, Dr. Mary Fenwick Parrish.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to have you.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, and I should note that Liam has his boner pants on because I can see, and it's not every day that our guest is topless, and I just appreciate that openness.
Sure.
As a man who likes looking at boobs, and really that's all that it comes down to, honestly. But
Certainly.
but I feel like it's something more than that. It's about the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
It's about liberty. It's about the fresh air, and so thank you, doctor.
You're quite welcome. I think you're maybe conflating my screaming eagle tattoo across my chest as liberty.
Well,
but I have to say, I'm also really excited about you guys and your ability to just wear your boner pants and your no pants. So it is a new world order, and here we are.
Here we are.
What a waste of cloth to wear clothing.
that might be maybe a good direction to head on our way out. Is from your eagle's perch, so to speak. Where do you think? Where would you like to see intimacy go post-pandemic?
Ooh. You're going to have to give me a beat on that one. I want to think about that for a second.
Yeah, of course. Like, the way that I see it is that there's all these changes and in fashion, in economics, in politics, in culture, and why not intimacy as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to follow suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's your dream there? What's your vision, Carl, regarding that? What does it look like? What's your landscape?
Oh, absolute, total, utter, just open-ended.
I can just see
anybody that you come across.
I can just see you frolicking through people like they were a cornfield.
Yeah.
In a pair of boner pants.
The thing is, I can't cheat on Sheila because we're just in an open relationship, and it's not cheating if it's baked into the rules of the game. You know what I mean?
You go.
That's absolutely correct. Creating boundaries that work for both of you is absolutely fundamental. Now, when it gets to things that, especially if we're looking at new interpretations of what intimacy is. Maybe intimacy is your fire soulmate. Maybe intimacy is you running through a cornfield, without your shirt on. And Sheila gets to stand on the sidelines and watch.
Yeah.
But you also get to invite 26 women from the local knitting club, because that's something that you enjoy. So as long as you and Sheila are on the same page about that being okay, you guys are going to be fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's about a new consensus, right?
Sure.
I agree. I think it's lovely. I'm very excited about this bravest of new worlds we're about to encounter out there, all you frisky folks. And that's just where we're going to have to leave off here. We are going to push off the side of the pool and into the new millennium because it's a love pandemic. Yes, that's right, a viral outbreak. And we have had the most lovely and wonderful Dr. Mary Fenwick Parrish on the show. I'm joined with Carl Voss.
Oh, yeah. Happy to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our show tonight.